Close encounters of the fifth kind, CE5, which is human-initiated contact with extraterrestrials and multi-dimensional beings. And there's a whole lot else outside of that spectrum too that I'll be getting into in later videos. Oh, it's hot. CE5 is initiated by us, the human, the Earth human. And you want to pick a location that's maybe somewhere that's not your home, but if you want to do it from your backyard, you can do that. But just know that um, if you're reaching out to beings in the universe, not all of them are nice. So be careful what you invite in. Remember with the CE5 stuff that like attracts like, if you're holding a really good steady vibration that's loving and caring, it's usually the beings that you invite in. So just keep that in mind. You want to hold a higher vibration if you can. So with CE5, there's a couple of really good tricks that I want to get out there. And, there's the Stephen Greer way. View yourself from the map above and you do all that stuff. But I think if you're able to shine your energy bright enough, when you make a telepathic contact with some of these beings, they have an expression that they've said to me many, many times, and you'll hear this from other experiencers too, and they always say, "We see your light." And they're not talking, we have the lights on in the middle of the desert or in the middle of the woods. They're talking about our individual souls, how bright our light shines. And I think that's actually what attracts some of these beings to certain people. And I've had a lot of interactions over the years, and that's the common denominator with a lot of it is that's the message that I get. I'll get a little telepathic inlet of them seeing my light or showing me an image of me from above, and they can see an essence of glow. Say I'm trying to do CE5 right now, and it's a beautiful night. I have a wonderful spot to do it at. I'm very blessed to have a car where I can drive to a near location or a far location if I want to. Very, very blessed, and I'm very thankful for that. And that's also another vibration that helps to raise your consciousness is appreciation and love. Those are the type of things that help you to raise that conscious vibration up a level as well. So the sun is just setting now, and it's really, really gorgeous, and it's so beautiful outside, and I just take in what's around me. Everything's glowing, a nice golden orange everywhere, and I just kind of feel the energy. I ground myself in this spot. I connect with source, all that is, God, whatever you want to call it. Connect with that and connect with the earth, right? Create a line coming through you from the earth up to source. And you bring it back and forth with your breathing. That's one technique. And once you do that and you set into a rhythm and you feel it, you start to take in the energy of what's around you. So you just kind of feel this energy that's here, and this holds a specific frequency. We hold a specific frequency, and when you put those two frequencies together, it's like a homing beacon. So when you send our location out, I can feel what the ground feels like. I can feel the energy around me. I picture it in my mind, and I send that frequency out to the beings of what's here. That's enough information to get them to know where we are, okay? It's that frequency of what's around us and us here. And us sending energy up from the earth, that's also raising our frequency as we go breathing in, having the energy come up into our heart and going up to source, and then bringing source energy down back through us into the earth. And you just follow that rhythm up and down, and it starts to raise and raise and raise, one of the ones that we did on the CE5 weekend a couple of weeks ago was I led the group in a CE5 kind of small meditation thing, and what we did was pretended to send a laser beam up, kept visualizing a laser beam up. And another thing you also want to keep in mind is creating a sacred space. creating a energetic barrier, keeping out the lower vibrational energies, and also kind of creating a nice, safe space for good energies and good vibes to build up. And that's another thing, is it helps to raise that vibration in the, in the ground around you, but also the people that you're going to be with. And it really does help to kind of shine your light out to the universe, to the beings you're wanting to connect with. And I'm going to change locations because this is beautiful, and I want you guys to see it. It is beautiful. So yes, appreciation comes into a lot of this too, and holding a light within yourself and keeping yourself in a happy state. Happiness and joy, love, those type of things hold a specific frequency. And I just want you to think about this for a second. This is also a key to contact, but also it can change your life. It changed my life in the way I view myself as well as those around me. So you have to kind of ask yourself, why would the beings that are out there, ETs, multidimensionals, why would they want to interact with you? What is it about you that they would be attracted to? It's not a very easy question to ask yourself, but it's also something that you have to be honest with. A lot of these beings are attracted to happy-go-lucky and loving energy, and when you get into a group setting and you're, a craft flies over and you're jumping for joy, that's a really amazing, happy, fun-loving energy, and it's amazing. Right? I love doing this stuff. I love teaching this stuff. I love teaching about psychic abilities, and I'm going to be putting a lot more out onto this channel and a lot out to the world. I love it. So, why not teach it? I also love camera stuff and shooting videos. So, they both kind of go together. Why not shoot myself with a nice camera, with some nice lighting, and get to sit in the beautiful outdoors and enjoy myself? What's better than that? You're supposed to follow your passion. Both of these things are my passion, so why not, right? So those are also things to bring to the table. If CE5 brings you joy, do it. If it doesn't, then, it's not for you. That's okay as well. And for all the naysayers out there, by the way, don't knock it until you try it. Try it 2 or 3 times a month for a year, and ask yourself those hard questions that I brought up earlier, and really try to follow those protocols. And there's a lot of little things that can help you discover this whole area of focus. There's so many different beings out there and craft, and there's an array of colorful craft and everything out there. And when you start having interactions on the ground, that's when it really starts to take off. And I've got a lot of stories to share. If you have somebody in your friend group or someone that you know of that is into CE5 or UFOs, send them my way. Send them one of these videos. Send them this video. I want to grow this channel, and I need everyone else out there to help me do that. So, please subscribe and please like and share. It goes a long way for me, and I would love to do this stuff more, and the more people see it and I get good comments and stuff like that, makes me motivated to do more. So one thing with CE5 is when you get into these meditative states and you go deep, when a being sends you a flash image, you can feel it in your body. It's one of those things with CE5 that's really important. You can do it the Greer way, Dr. Greer, or you can do it the James Gilliland way. I prefer James Gilliland's way because, it's creating a rapport with these beings. It's something where you almost can become buddy-buddy instead of, shouting out to the universe and saying, hey, everybody, come on here, show up because I said so, like Dr. Greer's. Or you can have the buddy-buddy system and invite a friend in. And when you start to get a lot of the telepathic contact back and forth, it becomes a lot easier to do long term. You know, as I said, I've been doing it for a while, and there's certain beings that I try to tune in with when I do this, and it's flat out asking them, you know, hey, can you show up, yay or nay? Most of the time it's a no, right? They're busy doing their busy life things. But when that fails, then you reach out to a broader audience and a broader universe, I should say. And it is something that takes practice. Telepathy isn't something that you pick up overnight. You know, we're not trained this as young people. Some people are nowadays, which is great. And telepathy is a very real thing that takes practice, dedication, and when you start to have dialogue, they can send you an image, and it's kind of like playing charades with images, sending them back and forth, and you got to figure out what they're trying to say sometimes, but it'll come to you over time with practice. You know, that's another thing, is when you start to have more of a dialogue, or you start to have more of a back and forth, that allows them to hone in on your location a lot easier, because you've created that solid connection with them. So these are all things to keep in mind. I wanted to put this in here. I think this is a really important part of CE5. So I wish you luck with this stuff. I want you guys to be safe out there too. So remember your sacred space, your protection energy. So hopefully I will get better at this promoting myself thing online. It's still new to me, but I want to reach a broader audience. You know, if you want to reach out, it's ThevastExperience@gmail.com. I'll put it, you know, somewhere here, and go through some of my other videos. There's, I don't know how many videos I've posted now, but I'm trying to do at least one a week, and at least for a little while. And if I can do more or less, you know, that's just how life goes. But I do need your guys' help to get the word out there. So I do appreciate you, and thank you so much for tuning into the channel.